Hello guys, today I want to talk about something. But first, before I talk about something, I gotta ask you about how your day is because that's how I introduce all of my videos. So, how's your day? Hopefully it's going good. I can see your face right there. It looks very beautiful. And yeah, so I think I got that whole thing across. Maybe it's going good, maybe it's going bad, I don't fucking know. But hopefully it's going good. Today I want to talk about a subject that popped into the head of mine. And this subject is pertaining to the sketch incident that happened over the past day or so. My general take is that I think people are going too overboard with how they're acting towards this whole controversy. The idea of people doing OnlyFans, it's definitely weird. For instance, I wouldn't want my daughter doing it. But again, it doesn't mean I hate him for it. He didn't harm anybody in the process of him doing this kind of content creation, and therefore I do think that it's very interesting how a lot of these people will act this way towards somebody like Sketch and act like he's like the worst person or some shit, but then they'll get busy giving someone like Sketch more shit for something like that over someone like Dr. Disrespect admittedly inappropriately texting minors while being also a 40-year-old man. I feel like also a lot of this though isn't even just about the fact he has an OnlyFans, but I think there's another avenue where this controversy for Sketch comes from. And I think it comes from insecurity. What I'm referring to mostly are alpha males. I'm sure y'all have heard that term before, alpha males. You might think of people like Sneeko or people like Fresh and Fit, different content creators like that and such. It's almost like this genre of content has gotten more popular over the past few years or couple years, especially around the Andrew Tate era, where Andrew Tate, he became more popular. And they kind of like cultivated this like fan base of sorts off of this whole red pill ideology. But it goes a lot further than it just being about the red pill in this instance. As well, there's ideologies from the red pill that I do agree with. These guys take it a full step further. It's even to the point where you can even conclude that they're almost insecure about who they are, so they feel the need to project any kind of extreme ideologies about themselves on other people. And it's almost like things like this live in their head rent-free to the point where they feel the need to talk about it all the time, or they feel the need to make a point out of something all the time. It's almost like they have an insecurity of either being stupid or not being masculine. And I'm touching on both, but mostly the idea of masculinity. Because I do value masculinity and stuff, as you might be able to tell. I work out. I feel like part of that is who I am almost, I'm just kind of into that stuff. I like working out. I like being strong. I like combat sports and stuff. And I take part in it as well. So, I have nothing against masculinity. And speaking of which, actually, I feel like a part of being masculine is being completely sure of who you are. And what's funny is that these alpha males talk about how homosexuality is such a plague and how terrible it is. Yet, if you go into their history, you can actually find a lot of very interesting, almost contradicting even, personality traits that they've displayed. It's almost like they consistently feel the need to point out how terrible homosexuality is and how against it, to almost cover up the fact that that's who they are and the fact that that isn't a part of their brand, but yet they gotta keep it that way because, oh, if someone knows that I am gay, then that goes against my whole alpha male brand. Like, it's so weird because it's like, are you supposed to be the alpha male, not cuddling up against other dudes and doing a bunch of things with them? And the guy that I'm showing images of is a man known as Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit. And he owns this podcast where it's almost like this red pill podcast, and he gives dating advice to young men. He says a lot of questionable things on there, that's for sure, such as the following.
There's a reason why men want sex salads and sandwiches. And as a matter of fact, my friends around, shut the fuck up even more. Don't talk. But the thing is that we don't have these raw, real conversations with women.
When you say things like sex, sandwiches, and silence, it's almost like you want a sex robot, essentially. A robot that can perform commands, such as making you sandwiches, but it stays silent and does not much more than having sex with you. So, I mean, it's, and this isn't even like I'm just taking this guy out of context. He fully says things like this. I mean, these kind of guys are the exact same kind of guys who will say things like, don't do this, and, this is, lowly or something, but then go ahead and do it not too long after, and then look like a bunch of morons, and then use some cover-up excuse, or just try and sweep it under the rug so no one else talks about it. Or another good example of these alpha males trying to act like alphas, but just fail terribly is guys like Sneeko.
Do what I want. So we went to a couple different sex parties.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
So we go in there with the mentality that whatever happens inside that party, it just stays at the party. Like,
Yeah.
And so I saw her. I've seen her fuck other men, and it's just like that was.
Seen
Because
it?
I want to
Yeah,
get
I
into
saw,
all that.
like,
That's fantastic stuff.
So I wanted to break this down, like, because this was imagine seeing the girl you love like
Get fucked.
get fucked.
You love her?
Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her.
So,
And so if it's gonna happen, I might as well see it, supervise it, make sure everything's okay.
Wait, what? No, you didn't have to jump to that conclusion.
Well, I don't.
Hold on.
Wait, how
Two
close
times.
was it?
We were on the same bed. I was with his girl. He was with my girl.
You
like right
was
here.
on the bed?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Room?
But I couldn't, like, I was literally having PTSD watching that. I was like having war flash. Like I just could not do it.
So did they?
What position?
No. It was missionary. Missionary
no.
legs up.
It was missionary legs up?
Legs up, yeah.
Oh no!
That's
was
such
he-
a outrage.
Was he staring at her, like, in her eyes?
Yeah, like deep eye contact.
Oh
Deep eye contact. And, yeah.
no! Man.
No. Well, no. Okay, so let me backtrack. Let me backtrack. Top me, and she's, I don't know, yo. I'm just not. And my girl's right here, and she's like, and I'm like, oh, yo. I'm like feeling traumatic thoughts, like seeing her with another person. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I think it's something everybody should do just to test. No. You know what? You know what?
Who's proposing this? Is this you or
Both
her?
of us. Both of us. Yeah. Both of us. It was like.
I mean, similarly to the other guys, he feels the need to make a constant point about almost anything, but especially about the same kind of topics over and over and over again regarding about sexuality and masculinity and all these same talking points that these guys continuously parrot. Almost like it's like they're trying to sell their brand to people, and people are trying to, which is, you know, that's normal. That's something a lot of YouTubers and content creators do. But they continuously talk about this stuff as if it's a productive use of their time, and their audience is learning something from it by continuously hearing the same shit over and over again, by them branding it as if it's life advice or some other shit. It's one thing if you make a point clear and maybe you do it a few times, but when this is your whole personality of, this is anti-woke, there's two genders, libs are the problem, you're not teaching anybody anything new. You're just doing the same shit, you keep on recycling it, nothing fucking new out of that whole thing. So firstly, it's a scam. It's a scam because you brand it as if you're teaching the youth and waking up this generation of men. But in reality, you're not even teaching anybody jack shit. You're just parroting the same fucking points, which half of them aren't even good fucking points either. Yes, there's only two genders. Yes, there are certain things that are being promoted in society that isn't okay. But what they do is they go full fucking alt-right mode and stuff, and they go to one extreme instead of maybe being a bit more balanced. That's the thing with people and stuff nowadays. They feel you to pick a side so fucking much on everything and stuff, where it's like, there's only one correct way of thinking, and it's only one side or the other side, because what it is, it's branded as if the other side's an enemy and this side isn't. So, you know, you just get a bunch of fucking division. From what these guys, for the most part, do is they cater to one extreme, and that's their sense of logic, reasoning, and basis on things. I mean, you gotta take a guy like Sneeko, who you gotta figure is, what, I think triracial is the word? I think he's white, black, and like Asian. And he's in his red pill shit, right? But you'll have a guy like Nick Fuentes on his stream, and he'll be completely relating or agreeing with this guy on his points and viewpoints of race mixing, which if you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, you would know that this guy is against race mixing.
Her in your daily existence by Jews.
I told you yes, absolutely. You laugh at it like.
How so? Can you?
Would you say that me having sex with my dog is the same thing as me having sex with a black man?
No. But they would both be degenerate.
Oh, this.
He used to genuinely be a well-spoken person, an intelligent person too. I always felt like he had a creative way of thinking when he was young. But it appears that the clock got to his head, and that's where his downward spiral unfolded. And his downward spiral resulted in, similarly to the other people I brought up so far in this video, in him, of course, once again, having a fragile ego and a very clear insecurity about his own masculinity. I mean, it's the same guy who's preaching masculinity this, masculinity that, but the next thing you know, his girl's being done by multiple guys in front of him. And at one point even saying that it's an experience that all men should have at some point. And of course, I'm sure some of y'all know about this, but obviously he made his comments about cuties and was defending this movie until it had to be jammed in his head enough times for him to understand why it was wrong and the reasons why it was wrong for being a movie that sexualized children regardless of the intent of this said movie. I mean, honestly, it's almost like Sneeko's became the person that his younger self wouldn't have wanted him to be. I get on all this to say that it's very interesting to see how they're handling this whole sketch drama or their take or approach on this drama. He'll go on about how Sketch is like living a lie and stuff because he didn't tell everybody he was gay from the start, and this all came out how he's such a liar. Which is incredibly ironic because Sneako's the same guy who consistently changes opinions based on what gets him the most clout, which is something he consistently does time and time again, whether it's him, I don't know, being an Andrew Tate clone, I don't know, him claiming to be Muslim even though it's pretty clear this guy doesn't go by anything the book says almost. What he's doing with the red pill, what he's doing by claiming to be Muslim is he's hopping on trends. At this point in time, the red pill was blowing up, it was getting popular and stuff, and he took full advantage of that. And doing various other heavily red pill acts that would draw in some kind of attention. The guy's an entire fraud and he shouldn't be looked up to. And I'm assuming that a lot of people probably understand this, but I mean, unfortunately, some don't seem to. And of course, the same goes for Myron.
Genuinely, I don't know why it's the new Twitch word. He's genuinely one of the most genuine guys ever. Nigga, no, he wasn't. No, he's not. He lied to you about his life. You're acting like it was like 2 years ago, he was taking it up the ass and getting paid for it on OnlyFans. One of those genuine guys that he would have been straight up about his life.
2 years ago, Sneako was creating original content, being himself, actually providing some kind of wisdom and substance with his words. But then 2 years later, he catered to the red pill, became something that he wasn't, catered to the Andrew Tate audience, basically became him, yet like a worse, like dollar store version of him. Started kissing ass until he didn't want him around, pretending to be a Muslim, and then also believing that all men should go through some kind of cuckoldry, I think that's how you say it, to get more perspective out of it or some shit. I mean, this guy is almost the embodiment of everything he criticizes. It's actually incredibly weird. You know, the reason why that sketch didn't even say anything about him being gay or tell anybody is because he faced this level of embarrassment that he's getting right now. You can maybe understand, actually you can most definitely understand why he wouldn't want any of this to be public, especially since it has nothing to do and nothing to pertain with his current image. If he told everybody he was gay from the start and he was doing this, Sneako and Myron Gaines and all these other people would have been the first ones to say that he's pushing LGBTQ on the youth and he's trying to plague a youth in a nation for coming out and for letting everybody know that he's gay. I mean, that's just the level of hypocrisy these people have. They clearly can't stay true to their own character. Just like Myron Gaines' little friend Walter, I think also known as Fresh, who hooked up with a sex worker or some kind of OnlyFans girl, even though that's exactly against what they preach that alpha male does. Gets her pregnant and then tries to force her to have an abortion.
I was with this chick and we were kind of like fizzling out. It wasn't working out, but she got pregnant. And then I kind of told her like, yo, we can work this out. Don't worry about it, but we can't have kids right now. And then I did a Hail Mary. And now I'm here.
No, tell him what the Hail Mary is. Tell him what the Hail Mary is. Tell him what it is. Okay. Go all the way.
Okay. So the Hail Mary is, for example, right, where like you tell the chick what she wants to hear, and you can have kids later on, make her get an abortion, you take her to McDonald's, get a McGriddle, and an orange juice, you sit her down, you tell her about life, and you started this happen, and you never see her again. Wait.
That got really dark. That got really
So the baby news drops, it goes viral, Fresh and Fit react poorly, like so bad their lawyer even told them to shut up about it.
But now is not the time to unleash the Kraken here. There is a lot being said right now, and I appreciate, Walter, that you are taking my advice and you are not saying it.
That's not even including the countless of fabricated, goofy, and embarrassing stories that those guys made up. Fortunately enough, these same cameras that were off were also able to capture all the stupid shit they've done off screen, or even just random photos that they've taken of themselves, or videos of them admitting to certain things that they did that goes completely against their values. You can be a real man and have your own values, but also not be overly caught up in a bunch of bullshit. Now, instead of constantly repeating the same exact points to fill those insecurities of yours, you can just simply not give a shit if Sketch did anything gay, or if Sketch even did an OnlyFans. You can just not care. You shouldn't associate yourself, and especially your personality, with really any of those kind of people. This kind of goes for most influencers anyways, because at some point you have no sense of who you are and you just see yourself as one of them. After all, these guys mostly don't know what the fuck they're talking about and they can't even practice what they preach, so I don't even know why I'd even take advice from them. That's really all I gotta say though. I don't got much else to say on this topic, so peace out, goodbye, love you all, and hopefully you have a great day.
Motherfuckers weren't there when this bitch lied and said that I got her pregnant when I fucking did it. And then you dumbasses, 3 years later, believe some bitch that makes the same fucking allegations again. You fucking idiots.